welcome everybody to another edition of Dragon Basketball here on newpalradio.com. Mike Petrie, Paul Gable will be coming to you live. Time on the clock says about 19 minutes. We will be coming back to you in about 15 minutes. We will have all of the action from tonight's game as the New Pal Dragons try to rebound from a loss last night, Paul, and they're going to have a tough challenge tonight against Southport.
Yeah, Southport, year in and year out, the Cardinals are athletic. Watching them here in pregame right now, they look to be awfully athletic again this time around, and I expect them to want to push the issue a little bit, get up and down the court, and we'll see if New Pal, something we talked about before we came on air, if New Pal's legs are with them tonight after that tough one up at Delta.
Absolutely. So the Dragons looking to bounce back. We will have all of the action. Tip off in about 20 minutes. We will be on the air in about 15. You're listening to
.com. Today's game is brought to you by All-Star Turf Management, D&D Strictly Storage, Best in Sight Family Eye Care, Pork Vet Solutions, Hoosier Huddle, Real Life Church, and Catch the Shot Photography. Now let's head courtside for all of tonight's play-by-play.
And welcome everybody to another edition of Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com. Mike Petrie, Paul Gable with you tonight, and the Dragons looking to get back on the winning side of things after they suffered a very tough 52-51 loss last night against Delta, and had a long road bus trip back home after that one. But tonight, in friendlier surroundings, as the Dragons will take on the Southport Cardinals. And Paul, we were talking a little bit earlier, you know, the big test for the Dragons, they had 16 days off. They come back. Now you got to get your legs up and running, and really against a team that likes to run quite a bit.
Yeah, and last night, I don't care who you are anytime you go up to Delta. That's a tough place to play anyway. The Eagles year in and year out do a good job. It's such a long trip up there, and now you got to come back after dropping an emotional one last night to a team from Southport that's going to want to run you out of the gym if they have an opportunity to do so because you're so athletic. And 16 days off is very, very tough. But, you know, it's also something that Trent Whitaker's guys are somewhat used to as far as a program, because up until this year, they had those football guys who were out, you know, and you had a little extra time off and those kind of things. But I'll be very, very interested tonight to see how they do. One, coming off that tough loss, but two, matching up against this very athletic Southport team. That'll be a good test for them, not necessarily for the conference per se, but for sectional. You know, when you get in sectional and you play those Richmond teams and you play those Muncie teams, this game tonight will get you prepared for that.
Absolutely, and the Southport Cardinals come in. They are 0-5. They also coming off a loss last night. They fell to the Franklin Central Flashes, a very solid team, as the Dragons found out 3 weeks ago. But, you know, 0-5 does not tell the whole story of what Southport Cardinals basketball is about so far this year. They have played some very tough teams. To revisit an old joke that you and I have had, they may be the best 0-5 team in basketball.
I thought we retired that joke a couple of years ago, but yeah. That's a good one.
When the clock ticking down, it's got about 2 minutes left. We are going to take our first break of the pregame. When we come back, we will have starting lineups, get you set, and we will have tip-off. You're listening to Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habing, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
And we are back at New Pal High School, where the New Pal Dragons getting ready to take on the Southport Cardinals, and they are introducing the starting lineup. So we will go ahead and introduce those starting lineups for you. The Southport Cardinals, starting with them, they are led onto the court by number 21, Ibrahim Kamara. He is averaging 4 points per game, the point guard. Number 24, Nickens Lemba, their leading rebounder at 5.8 rebounds per game. And Avante Robinson, averaging just under 1 point per game. The scoring for the Cardinals comes mainly from their backcourt. It is A.J. Dankler, a sophomore, averaging 9.5 points per game, but shooting just under 20% from the field. And the leading scorer for the Cardinals is Keon Miller, averaging 17 points per game. He's shooting about 52% from the field. He will be one to watch. For the Dragons, the same starting lineup they had last night. It will be Steel Brassfield, Eli Stevens, and Matthew Brown in the front court. In the back court, it will be Blaine Nunnally, who led the Dragons last night, and C.J. Oliver gets his second start in a row. Dragons in their home whites with red jersey numbers and red lettering, black trim. Cardinals in the road, red jerseys. And the tip is up, and Brassfield tips it to the far sideline. It'll go out of bounds, and it was Southport's player that actually, Dankler, that was on top of that on the sideline, and that'll be a quick turnover. Be the Dragons winning the tip. So the officials actually having a quick discussion about that. I thought that might be a quick way for the Dragons to get a freebie there, because if they rule that Southport won the tip, then the Dragons get the alternate possession. But I think they are going to have have it show to the Cardinals, but we will see. They're explaining it, and we will find out what they explain.
2 seconds into this game, and we have a 2-minute conversation. That's not a good sign.
Eli Stevens will inbound it. Blaine Nunnally, big smile on his face as he takes it top of the key. They swing it over to C.J. Oliver, now to Nunnally. Fumbles momentarily, but gets it back. Stevens has it, shuffles, slides it over to Oliver. Now Brasfield, top of the key. Dragons looking to get the ball inside. They haven't gone inside the three-point line just yet. Now Nunnally. Guarded, gets to the baseline, drives, looks, finds Oliver on the wing. Eli Stevens looking for a place to drive. Has the ball knocked out of his hands, and Southport able to recover this loose ball. And it will be their leading scorer as Keon Miller with the ball. Miller over to Dankler, now back to Miller. Miller will drive. Dankler, he puts up a floater, no good. Matthew Brown will come down with the rebound. Outlets to Eli Stevens, across to Brasfield, and the Dragons will advance. Brasfield with a quick three, shot is up, it is good. He absorbed some contact, but no foul called. Nonetheless, the Dragons lead this one 3-0, and a big three-pointer early on for Steele.
Big three-pointer, and that was about as well as you could defend that as well. He was all over him, and Brasfield still able to knock down that three.
The drive from Southport by Avante Robinson. He puts the ball on his hip, heads to the basket, and has it poked away. They called a foul, though, and that is a foul on Matthew Brown.
Matthew Brown, a guy whose name we've called a lot over the years, a tremendous football player here at New Palestine and headed to the Air Force Academy.
Absolutely. So they rule Robinson in the act of shooting. He will put up the first free throw and misses off to the left. We get a quick substitution from Southport. Anthony Ball checks in. Nickens Lemba will check out. Anthony Ball averaging 8.3 points per game, so he is the third leading scorer on the team, but was sitting on the bench to start. Did not last very long there. Second free throw is good, and we have a 3-1 game. Blaine Nunnally looking to drive. Finds Eli Stevens. Stevens looking for some help. Now he will dribble, top of the key. Finds Brasfield. Brasfield with it. He looks, drives, works off a screen from Brown. Now he gets to the free throw line, has the ball knocked out of his hands, and it will be knocked out of bounds. Fortunate for the Dragons, it was knocked out of bounds. One, they're going to maintain possession, but also Avante Robinson had a step on everybody, and the closest player to him was on his backside, so that would have been an easy layup for Robinson if he had been able to maintain control. Instead, the Dragons will advance. Nunnally to Oliver. Oliver goes up for a shot and then has the ball poked out of his hand before he can get to the top of his leap. He was in amongst the trees there, Paul, and fortunate to get the foul call because by the time he got up, I don't think the Southport player even jumped, but had knocked the ball out of his hand. Oliver's first free throw is up and good, and that's a good sign for the Dragons. Last night they were 11 of 18 from the free throw line. That was a big part of why they came 1 point short against Delta. Second one from Oliver. That one is going to be short. Dragons still lead 4-1. 5:34 left in this first quarter. Keon Miller with it. He fires over to Robinson, back to Miller. Miller will drive, kicks back to Dankler. Dankler for three, no. Rattles out. Matthew Brown gets the rebound again. Oliver races the ball down for the Dragons, gets it to Nunnally, who beats the pack. And Nunnally with a layup. pushes the lead to 6-1. Now the Cardinals on the attack, racing and a little bit rattled, but the ball pinballs off about 4 different guys. It goes out of bounds. The Dragons have been fortunate to this point to get some bounces. Not that they're recovering the loose balls, but every loose ball seems like it's pinballing off a Cardinals player's leg and out of bounds.
Well, and we're only 3 minutes into this first quarter, and New Pal with a 6-1 lead. But what impresses me about New Pal, 2 things. One, very patient on the offensive side for the Dragons. It would have been real easy to let them allow Southport to speed them up a little bit. But Trent Whitaker's team doing a good job of staying true to what they do. But on the defensive side, they know Southport wants to get out and run, but they've actually sped them up a little bit and forced Southport into 3 turnovers here early in this contest. That surprises me a little bit on the defensive side.
If they can continue to force some turnovers, you wonder if Southport's actually going to have to slow their pace down. This is a much different pace than what we saw last night. Delta averages about 50 possessions a game. Southport looks closer to 80. 3-point shot from Eli Stevens. It was a good look, but does not go down. Matthew Brown tries to save it, but unable to do so, and it will go out of bounds. Southport will inbound. Southport bringing the ball up. Keon Miller gets it across midcourt, has the ball go off his leg, and the Dragons recover. Eli Stevens gets hammered as he heads to the basket, and they call a foul. Eli Stevens will head to the free throw line. Another turnover from Southport, though. It's a matter they've got to find just a ball handler.
They've got to find some control is what they got to find. It's one thing to speed up, and that's great if that's your offense. But they just look all helter-skelter right now.
Eli Stevens' first free throw goes down, so extends the lead 7-1. Second one, that one is short. Couple of the back end of the free throws have hit just the front of the rim. And again, the one thing you worry about with the Dragons is if they've got the legs going back-to-back nights. 3-point shot. Keon Miller looked at it, but instead he shot fakes, gets Eli Stevens way up in the air, and Eli Stevens kind of kicked him as he was going past.
That's a hard call because Stevens has nowhere to come down except on that Southport player.
Number 5, Marcus Jones, senior, has checked into the game for the Southport. They have substituted very freely here in this first quarter. We're only 4 minutes in. Floater from, I believe that was Keon Miller, goes down. So the first field goal for the Cardinals, and it is a 7-3 game. Nice look to Nunnally. He goes to the baseline. Will dribble under the basket. Reverses course, gets it back up. No good. Matthew Brown with the rebound. Shot is up. No good. But Matthew Brown is fouled. I really liked the way Matt was able to catch that rebound, come down, gather himself, put a nice spin on it, and then was able to put one up off the glass. Even though it didn't go down, he was able to draw the foul. And that first free throw will fall for Matthew Brown.
Well, and to your point, that's something that we've seen him do year after year. You know, and now he's the elder statesman for this team. Those things are expected of him now.
Second free throw from Brown falls short. 8-3. Dragons just 50% from the free throw line so far. 3-point shot from the Cardinals, no good. Matt Brown gets the rebound. He fires over to Stevens. Stevens brings it across midcourt to Brasfield. Brasfield, Kyle Bastian into the game for the first time. He kicks back out to Blaine Nunnally. Nunnally will look. He steps over, gets the shot. No good. Bastian with the rebound to Brasfield. Shot is up.
Wow.
Good. Steele Brasfield with a 3-point shot, and he is fouled in the act of shooting. He wanted it the first time he shot from behind the arc and made it. That time he gets a chance at a 4-point play.
It's the old 4-point play.
Yeah, that's nice when you can get it. 11-3 the lead for the Dragons. Brasfield's free throw is also up and good. He has 7. leading scorer so far. We get another substitution and one more coming in for the Cardinals as Griffin Thomas checking in. So for Southport, it will be Keon Miller, A.J. Dankler, Marcus Jones, Griffin Thomas, and Anthony Ball. So they've got 3 starters, 2 subs in. Now Jones with it on the wing, looking for help. He finds Dankler, and Dankler catches, and he will travel with the ball before he could decide what to do with it.
That's the 5th turnover for Southport right now, and if you would have told me at the 3-minute mark that they'd have 5 turnovers and 3 points, I would have been shocked.
Blaine Nunnally brings it across midcourt. He's working on Marcus Jones. Now fires to Brasfield. Brasfield working off a screen. He fires from 3-point line. No good. Rebound by Brown.
Wow.
And good, and count it with the foul. So, by my count, the Dragons have now been fouled on, is that 5 or 6 different shots that they've, field goal attempts where they've been fouled and then either had an and one or the ability to go to the free throw line for 2. That is the 5th foul on Southport, so there's my answer. 2:44 left in this first quarter. Dragons lead it 14-3. Brown's free throw is no good. Bastian gets the rebound, though. He will fire, and he makes it. 16-3 now. Keon Miller over to Dankler. Dankler looking to attack, finds it. Back to Miller for 3. That is up and no good. Rebound goes all the way out to Dankler. He will fire and hits from about 2 steps behind the 3-point line. 16-6. Dragons still with a 10-point lead. Not only races it across midcourt and looking for a place to attack as the half-court offense settles in.
And then wisely slowed it down. That's not New Pal's game.
Brasfield with it, top of the key. Fires over to Nunnally. He shot fakes that fake nobody because he's at about the NP logo on the court. Dribbles inside the 3-point line. He will put up a floater and it will fall. 18-6. Keon Miller over to Dankler. Dankler back to Miller. They play a little 2-man game now. Miller working off the screen, gets into the paint, fires it, finds it to Nickens Limba, who cannot convert, gets his own rebound, can't convert, and it'll go out of bounds off of the Dragons. As give Nickens Limba some credit, he stuck with it, but that was 2 pretty much point-blank opportunities.
Touch, big man.
Southport will inbound from under their own basket. Miller fires over to Anthony Ball. And now Ball, top of the key, fires out to Griffin Thomas. Back to Ball. Nice look. And Ball able to convert. Makes the 2-footer and back to a 10-point lead. Blade Nunnally will walk it across the half-court line. Looking to set up the Dragons offense. Now fires to Brasfield. Brasfield looking for some space. Gets it into the paint, but then kicks out. Nunnally for 3. Misses. Anthony Ball with the rebound. Nice job. He jumped over everybody to get that. Keon Miller with it for Southport. Now Southport, 40 seconds left. We'll see if they hold for the last shot of the quarter. They're looking to work their offense right now. Anthony Ball over to Dankler. Now Dankler to Miller. 27 seconds left. Now Miller will back it out. 20 seconds, and the Dragons will let them take the last shot of the quarter. Been a very up and down, fast-paced quarter, and so everybody enjoying their time to take a break. 6 seconds left. Keon Miller is going to get called for a carry. And that was when he was setting up, and it was almost like he was thinking about too much, about 2 steps ahead.
That turnover was 35 seconds in the making. He had managed to work that clock from 38 down to 3.
Nunnally catches the inbound pass, fires up, shot is up, no good. So we will head to the first quarter break. The Dragons lead this one 18-8. We will take a quick break along with the game, and we will come back with second quarter action. You are listening to Dragons basketball on newpalradio.com.
Life Church, we've done everything we can to create a place people love so they can experience a loving God. That means we do everything with you in mind. Whether it's our weekend services, our kids and student ministry, or small groups, we really have been expecting you. We've been praying for you, and we're excited about the opportunity to go on a spiritual journey with you. We hope that you'll take your next step and join us this weekend at Real Life Church. There's always room for you.
Catch the Shot Photography is your hometown photographer. Locally owned by Brenda Adams Turk and David Turk, Catch the Shot is dedicated to providing quality photos of your family, seniors, sports, and special events. We offer custom designed products including sponsor banners, photo collages, senior banners, and much more. We look forward to catching the shots with you. Contact Catch the Shot Photography at 317-620-1240 or catchtheshot.com.
And we are back as the second quarter just getting underway. The Dragons inbounding, and they lead this one 18-8 over Southport. Inbound goes to Ian Stevens. Ian Stevens on the baseline trying to find Eli. Eli on the block, and we're going to get a jump ball. Just after you were asking our referee friend for the explanation on the alternate possession, the Dragons turn it over on an alternate possession. So now it will go back to the Dragons next time. Keon Miller with the ball. Left-hand dribble. Now he's looking for help. Finds A.J. Dankler. Dankler looking for Thomas. Griffin Thomas trying to set a screen. Now Miller to Dankler. Dankler gets Blaine Nunnally on the ground. And Nunnally looked like he kicked the ball as he fell to the ground.
Lost his footing a little bit.
Yeah. They get a foul called on Nunnally. That is the third on the Dragons. Nunnally's first.
Nunnally comes out. Matthew Brown back in for the Dragons. 3 points in that first quarter for Brown. And I had him for 5 rebounds in that first quarter.
New player in for Southport. That is Dante McDonald. Keon Miller with the ball. Now top of the key to McDonald. Down on the baseline. Nickens Lemma puts it up. Can't get it to fall. He's got a lot of what you need as a big man. He's just, as you said, needs some touch. Drive by Nunnally, and Lemba rejects it. Dankler recovers the ball for Southport on the fast break. He will take it down, and he is going to be fouled. That'll go on Ian Stevens, his first. Fourth on the Dragons, and it is no points in this 1 minute into the second quarter, but certainly been enough action for it. Dankler's first free throw is up and good. Second free throw from Dankler is also good, and the lead is cut to 8. First time in about 4 minutes it's been inside of that 10 or inside of double digits. Eli Stevens over to Damon Hockett. Hockett gets tripped as he's heading to the baseline. Had a nice drive, and probably Nickens Lemba gets called for the foul there. Hockett's fortunate that he was fouled, because had he tried a layup from that, we saw what Lemba was doing to players. He just happened to get his feet tangled. They ruled that it was not in the act of shooting, so Dragons will inbound under their own basket. And now, Nunnally
struggling to get the ball in.
Gets it inside. Now Nunnally will recover the loose ball, as it was knocked free for a moment, but he did a nice job of following his pass. Now, Nunnally looking, finds Ian Stevens for 3, and that is good.
That was a rough-looking shot when it left his hand, but nothing but the bottom of the net.
And we're going to get a blocking call here. That'll be on, looks like that might be on Blaine Nunnally. That would be his second. So he will head to the bench real quickly. We'll see how long he stays on the bench. 6 minutes left in the first half. Keon Miller with the ball, finds Dante McDonald. Now they swing it to Dankler. Dankler to McDonald. They swing back to Miller. Miller on the right wing. Now he will dribble it back out to the free throw line, working from a screen. Back to Dankler. Dankler gets into the lane, puts the layup up off the glass and through. 21-12 the score.
Dankler with all the points so far in this frame for Southport.
He did a nice job of getting in amongst the trees and then holding on until the last second before he laid it up off the glass. 5:31 left in this first half. Ian Stevens has it, and we're going to get a hold on the baseline. There is, more often than not, there is more contact that happens after the whistle gets blown. It seems like the whistle gets blown, I would almost say, with lighter contact, and then four bodies topple on top of each other.
And poor Nickens Limba for Southport, you know, he just wrong place at the wrong time. Kind of looks like, hey, come on, they had already called the foul.
Yeah. Keon Miller is the player that gets that foul. That is his second. He checks out for the moment. Free throw from Stevens, no good. And the rebound by Anthony Ball for the Cardinals. McDonald gets into the lane, nice floater. He gets that to fall, and the Cardinals have cut the lead to 7, and Dragons racing up the court. Probably got themselves going a little too fast as the outlet pass to Brasfield goes a little too far in front of him, and the Cardinals will take over possession. McDonald at the top of the key, looking for some help. He finds Latrell Williams, another new face in the game. Williams back to McDonald. Now, McDonald gets it over to Williams for 3. That is up, no good. Lemba jumps over everybody, gets the rebound. Anthony Ball has it under the basket, and he's going to be fouled as he tries to elevate. Unable to do so, he gets knocked to the ground. He will shoot 2 free throws instead.
It's the second foul on Matthew Brown for New Pal. And I'll tell you what, give Southport a lot of credit here because it was 18-8. They've done a good job of finding their offensive identity, but more importantly, taking New Pal out of their offensive rhythm.
Yeah, and it's funny because it feels like Southport has slowed down a little bit, gotten more in control, and just as they've been doing that, New Pal has sped themselves up a little bit too much in some cases. Nice rebound by Lemba, fires back to Ball, and Ball able to complete the layup, so missed 2 free throws, but was able to get the layup afterward. Lead is cut to 5. Damon Hockett with it for the Dragons. Now Eli Stevens to Brasfield, to Ian Stevens. That one is up, no good. Lembo with another rebound.
Southport's also doing a much better job on the glass, too.
3-point shot from Dante McDonald is no good. Anthony Ball tips it to himself, fires out to Dankler. Dankler gets into the paint. Shot is up, no good. Now Lemba is going to get, we're going to get a foul called on the Dragons as Lemba going to the basket, missed the tip in. They rule that was on the ground though, interestingly enough. I'm not sure how that wasn't in the act of shooting, unless maybe he was fouled before he tipped it. But
I don't know. I thought it was going to be an offensive goaltend because Lemba had 3/4 of his body over the rim on that one.
Yeah, he can jump. There's no doubt about that. There have been a couple of balls where he has not been, not over the back, but has been about a step behind the Dragons player and just out-jumped him. Lemba's first free throw is up and good, and the lead cut to 21-17.
His first point of the night.
Second free throw from Lemba is up and good. We were joking about the touch he needed. He just needed to step back about 10 feet, apparently. Blaine Nunley checks into the game for the Dragons. He went out with about 6:30 left. He has 2 fouls on him, and they have not scored since. Nunley looking. He's at the top of the key. Now he backs it out. Matt Brown looking to set a screen. Now, instead, Nunnally with it, gets to the baseline. We're going to get a travel called on Nunnally as he, I guess, probably got almost to the air but hadn't quite jumped and wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do with it.
Yeah, a lot of him being indecisive on that one. As a result, it's a 6th turnover, and Southport with a chance to tie things up here. Down 21-18, 3:36 left in this one in the first half.
A.J. Dankler with it. He fires over to Williams. Williams back to Dankler. He looking, gets to the free throw line, fires to McDonald for 3. Shot up, no good. Anthony Ball with a nice play as he collects a one-handed rebound and in one motion puts it up off the glass. 21-20, the Dragons still with the lead. Though it has been cut substantially. Now Brassfield driving, and the whistle, they say no shot. It will be a 1-and-1 for Brassfield. And that's the biggest difference that we've seen in the second quarter is that the Dragons have not been drawing nearly as many fouls as they were in the first quarter.
And a lot of that's because Southport is taking them out of their offense. Yeah. And that's what New Pal's got to do. They got to look for the 3, but more importantly, push the issue and get some of these bigs in foul trouble for Southport.
Brassfield makes his first free throw. Second one on the way. It is up and good. 23-20. Stops the bleeding for the Dragons.
Breaks a long scoring drought for New Pal.
What had been an 18-8 lead, an 18-6 lead actually, had been cut down to 1. Now it is at 3. Dante McDonald, and we're going to get a moving screen on Southport as Latrell Williams was trying to set a screen, trying to roll off of that a little too quickly. And Hockett will inbound to Nunnally. 2:44 left in the first half. Dragons lead this one 23-20. They have led throughout, but it was a much larger lead as little as 2 or 3 minutes ago. Now Eli Stevens gets into the paint to Kyle Bastian, back to Stevens. Bastian was not ready to shoot that, unfortunately, because that was a good spot to be in. Latrell Williams with the ball. Misses. Anthony Ball with the rebound. He is fouled on the putback, and he will head to the free throw line. Anthony Ball came into the game averaging 8.3 points, 5.5 rebounds, and he has been very impressive ever since subbing in at about 7:30 left in the first quarter. Free throw, though, is no good, and the Dragons maintain the lead. They lead 23-22.
Yeah, I don't know what he saw on the bench, but he's been a man on a mission since he came in. He's got 6 points. In this quarter, the only bad thing for him is he's 0 for 3 from the free throw line right now.
Blaine Nunnally gets a switch, and he is being guarded by Nickens Limba. Looks to drive, gets it out to Brassfield for 3. That is up, no good. Goes off of a Southport player's hands. It'll go out of bounds. 1:55 left in the half. Dragons still holding on to the lead. They lead 23-22. Now Nunnally with it. Nunnally, Kyle Bastian, Eli Stevens, Damon Hockett, and Steele Brassfield in for the Dragons. Nunnally looking to attack. Instead, he will back it out after Dankler poked it free for a moment. And now Bastian looking to drive, gets to the free throw line. To Stevens. Stevens looking to drive. He loses control of it, and it'll go out of bounds off of Stevens. Southport with a chance to take the lead.
7th turnover of the half for New Pal. They're just out of control.
Now McDonald with the ball. He's on the right wing. Fires into Anthony Ball. To Nick Limba for the dunk. No. And then he gets a frustration foul after he tried to hammer the dunk home. Instead, he rattled it out. poor Eli Stevens was the man who collected the rebound and got a face full of Nickens Lemba for his trouble, because Lemba, it looked like in one motion, was coming off the rim and just catapulted into Eli Stevens. So Stevens will go to the free throw line. Shot is up, no good. It was the 10th foul on Southport, though, so that will, Stevens will get a second chance. C.J. Oliver checks in for Blaine Nunnally for the Dragons. Nunnally played that 3.5 minute stretch, did not pick up his third foul, so that was good news for New Pal. Stevens with the second free throw, that is no good. Lemba comes down with the rebound. Fires over to Keon Miller. Miller back in the game. That was one player that I thought might really slow the Southport attack down once he went out, but they were able to make their cut into the New Pal lead even without Miller in the game.
It was a much different offense without Miller in the game. It was more up-tempo.
Miller with the ball to Dankler. Back to Miller. He is at about the midcourt line. Now fires over to McDonald. Back to Miller. 36 seconds left. They are trying to, I believe, hold for the last shot. We will see. Damon Hockett guarding closely enough to at least be a pest and not allow Miller to completely let the clock run down. Now we're at 20 seconds. Miller drives, top of the key to McDonald. Back to Dankler, over on the left side. He is guarded by C.J. Oliver. 9 seconds left. It'll be Dankler. Left hand, now to the right hand. He gets into the lane, out to Miller for three. That is up and good.
Wow.
And after trailing for the entirety of the first half, a three-point shot from Keon Miller is good, and that will give the Southport Cardinals their first lead of the half. And we go into halftime. Southport leads this one 25-23. We will take a break. When we come back, we will have the Best in Sight Eye Care and D&D Storage halftime show. You're listening to Dragons Basketball on newpalradio.com.
PorkVet Solutions is the best veterinary choice for your swine operation. Our two doctors, Matt Ackerman and Dylan Lape, can help you position your pork production system for the 21st century. We provide veterinary and consulting services, herd visits, preventive medicine, and more. PorkVet Solutions is licensed and accredited in 8 states. Reach us online at porkvet.com or call 623-5132. That's porkvet.com or 623-5132. PorkVet Solutions, literally saving your bacon each and every day.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. With a former Dragon star in Bloomington, all eyes should be on the Hoosiers football program this year. HoosierHuddle.com is a free and independent site that has covered the football team since 2013. They provide roster analysis, player profiles, interviews, game previews, wrap-ups, and more. You can follow them on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle or visit HoosierHuddle.com to keep up with your in-state favorites. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
And we are back at New Pal High School. Mike Petrie, Paul Gable with you on newpalradio.com. And Paul, it was a tale of two completely different quarters. First quarter, the Dragons race out to a lead, get led by as much as 12 in this game. They led it 18-6, but since that point, it's essentially been all Cardinals.
It has. Southport made some adjustments, and you know, it was pretty much a two-man show there in that second quarter for the visiting Cardinals. A.J. Dantzler got going. Anthony Ball got going a little bit, and and you saw they made adjustments offensively when Keon Miller went out with his second foul. And I thought they found some offensive identity. But more importantly, on the defensive end, they did a good job of taking New Pal out of what they wanted to do on offense. And you saw a lot of that. New Pal had a little bit of foul trouble in that quarter as well. You know, Matthew Brown spent an extended amount of time on the bench. But nevertheless, you were up 18-8. 18-6 at one point. And now you're down 25-23 in a game that, you know, at least for 9-10 minutes of, it was completely one-sided. So you know, I would imagine Trent Whitaker to make some adjustments in the locker room at the half, but they got to find out a way to counteract some of the Southport's athleticism. And in that second quarter, I thought at least Southport's athleticism and their length got the best of New Pal. They only had 5 rebounds at the end of the first quarter, Southport did, and they ended the half with 17.
Right.
And you know, Ball and Limba both really got going on the glass, and that also helped turn the tide a little bit.
Right. Well, why don't you run through individual scoring, and then we'll set the scene for what we'll see in the second half.
Yeah, for the visitors, Southport 17 rebounds in that half, 7 turnovers, led offensively by Anthony Ball and A.J. Dantzler. Dantzler with 9, Ball with 8, Keon Miller with 5, Nickens Limbo with 2, and Avante Robinson with 1. Southport 5 of 9 from the free throw line in that first half. For New Pal, 9 rebounds, 7 turnovers, led offensively in that first half by Steele Brassfield with 9. And then it's a jumbled up mess from that point on, if you will. Blake Nunnally with 4, Ian Stevens with 3, Matthew Brown with 3, Kyle Bastain with 2, Eli Stevens with 1, C.J. Oliver with 1. 6 of 13 from the free throw line for the Dragons so far this half, and it was 18-8 New Pal, and now it's 25-23 at the half Southport. And you know, it's one thing that we talked a bit about before we came on air, and it's one thing that you've mentioned a lot of is how are their legs and for New Pal. And when they got to the free throw line, they were able to make the first. And then the second one came up a little short. And that's usually a sign that you're getting a little tired. And that's one thing to watch as this game goes on, because Southport, yeah, they're 0-5, but after that second quarter, they're playing with a tremendous amount of confidence. And you're going to see them, I think, raise the tempo a little bit, try to speed things up a little bit more, and really try to zap the energy out of the Dragons early in the second half.
Yeah, I really think it'll be interesting to see how New Pal is able to respond in this third quarter, because one, they've got to get the ship righted from an offensive standpoint of how many they had. What I think 4 or 5 possessions in a row that essentially ended up with a turnover, and it was just guys trying to do a little too much. I think a little panic may have set in. I think once some shots started getting redirected, or some of the balls that they were losing among the trees in the lane. Southport obviously has their strong points, and defensively, if they can funnel everything down towards Anthony Ball and to Nickens Limba, that definitely there are some disincentives from driving there against those two big men.
Well, you know, you got 2 guys on the floor for Southport who are 6'6", and you got to utilize that if you're Southport a little bit. and we really saw them come to life there in that second quarter. I think it took a little bit for them to figure some things out. You know, they kind of got boat raced a little bit there in that first quarter. New Pal came out and knocked down some threes early in that, and then got away from that. But when you get to the free throw line, you got to make free throws. You know, New Pal only two of 5 there in that second quarter, and that you know, you're down 2. You make 3 of those, you're up 26-25 now, and you probably feel a lot better about your chances here early in this third quarter than when you're down 25-23, knowing that Southport's going to come out and want to dictate the pace early.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take one last break before we head back to the second half action. You've been listening to the Best Insight Eye Care and D&D Storage halftime show. When we come back, we will have the second half action. You are listening to Dragon Basketball on NewPalRadio.com.
Best Insight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
And we are back at New Pal as the Dragons open up the second half with a nice offensive set. Steele Brasfield hits from just inside the three-point line, and the game is now tied 25-25. Keon Miller with it, out to Dankler. Dankler for 3 for Southport, no good. Matthew Brown comes down with the rebound, and New Pal back on the attack. Brasfield with it at the volleyball line. He will kick over to Stevens. Stevens fires a pass. It is knocked away by Anthony Ball. He gets up for a dunk but misses. I think he was expecting contact, didn't get it. Instead, the Dragons will advance, and a cross-court pass is knocked out of bounds by Southport. New Pal able to inbound from about the three-quarter court.
I would imagine at some point very, very soon, Eric Brand reminds his Southport Cardinals that a layup counts as much as a dunk.
Yeah. Eli Stevens with it. Fires to Nunnally. Nunnally gets
Nice
in the
move.
air, gets the shot up. No good, but he does get a foul called. And Nickens Limba arguing he had his hands set, but official not buying that one.
That's his third. He only has 2 points, but he's done a great job on the glass for Southport. And more importantly, just having him out there makes you rethink taking the ball straight to the basket if you're New Pal.
Right. It's disrupted a lot of what New Pal has done, having both Ball and Lemba in the game at the same time. Now Nickens Lemba will take a seat for an indeterminate amount of time. First free throw from Nunnally is up, is good, and he hits the second one. So the Dragons came into this third quarter trailing by 2. They now lead by 2, 27-25. 6:33 left in the third quarter. Keon Miller with the floater. That is up, no good. Matthew Brown gets the rebound, fires away, and he's going to get called for a charge. And he can't believe it, but that was the right call because he brought his elbow up, and it was the elbow that actually made contact with Keon Miller.
Well, that's a shame. That's his third one, and that's his third foul.
Blaine Nunnally getting an explanation from the official, and actually now it'll be a warning to Blaine Nunnally, as the official apparently tired of explaining himself.
Matthew Brown, a minute and a half here in this third quarter, it already has 4 rebounds.
And the inbound pass is broken up by Brown. Now Nunnally with it. He will drive, and we're going to get a charge on Blaine Nunnally. Do they count the basket, though? I don't think they do.
No.
And Blaine Nunnally, if he wanted an explanation after the last foul call that went against Matthew Brown, I bet he wants one now.
Well, and now here's the problem with that charge.
Yeah.
Nunnally has 3 fouls. Matthew Brown has 3 fouls. They're the only guys who have really scored for you tonight if you knew Powell.
A.J. Dankler with it for Southport as the Southport faithful rise to voice their approval. Still 27-25. Keon Miller over to McDonald for 3. That is up and good. That one almost touched the rafters, and it drops down softly through the net. 28-27. Southport back in front by 1.
That about brought down some rain here in New Powell.
Eli Stevens with it. He will fire over to Brown. Brown now to Bastion, to Nunnally. In amongst the trees, he gets shot up, no good. And Steele Brasfield has the ball knocked out of his hands. And we're going to get a foul called on Latrell Williams underneath the basket. There is a lot of contact, and it's getting to be one of those games where the officials, quite honestly, just can't call all of the contact.
Well, not only that, but these officials, they've done a good job up to this point of keeping the game in control. They've got to get control back in this game early because the fouls are starting to get a little bit rougher as well.
Matthew Brown fires over to Kyle Bastion. Now Bastion with it. He will look for Brasfield. Brasfield into Brown, working, gets a shot up, no good. Has his shot rejected, but we're going to get a foul called on, that is actually going to be on Anthony Ball. That is his 3rd. So foul trouble starting to pile up for both sides.
I guess the hands part of the ball. I mean, that looked like it was all ball. And
definitely looked like
Matthew
all ball
Brown
up
got
top.
stuffed on that one a little bit.
The only thing I would say on that, and Brown's first free throw's up and no good. He was blocking the shot with his left hand. His right hand was making contact. I don't know if that was enough contact to merit a foul, but there was some contact underneath. Brown's second free throw on its way. It is through the net, and we are tied once again at 28. Keon Miller will take it across midcourt. Fires over to McDonald. Now Miller gets into the lane, turns around, fires back to Dankler. Dankler looking for a place to attack. Ian Stevens doing a nice job of bodying him. Now McDonald back to Dankler, who's going to work off a screen, goes between the legs, loses control for a moment. Now he will fire cross court to Keon Miller. Miller working off a screen from Thomas. Gets the floater to go up and in, and Keon Miller has discovered that floater here in the second half, and it is a 30-28 lead for Southport. Nunnally gets the floater to fall on the other side. Little teardrops falling all over the New Pal gym. McDonald has the ball on the right wing. He's looking. Now finds Dankler. Back to McDonald on the wing. Now Keon Miller with it. He will look. He's over the left wing. Fires to Dankler. Dankler will fire from 3. That is up. No good. And Steele Brasfield gets the rebound. Fires Nunnally. Nunnally ahead. Gets the shot up. And it is good. And a foul. Keon Miller picks up the foul. I believe that is his 3rd. So that is his 3rd. That is the 4th on Southport. Dragons with a 2-point lead, and Nunnally can extend that 2-point lead. Free throws up and good.
Nunley was 7 points so far this quarter.
Now Keon Miller will bring it across midcourt for the Cardinals. He is looking, trying to get it to Thomas. Instead, Brasfield steps in front. He will drive on the press and gets the layup. Does not get it to fall, but he is fouled as he winds up in a heap on the baseline, and a couple of Dragons come and help pick him up. That'll be foul number 1 on A.J. Dankler. That'll lead to a timeout by Southport, I believe. And this is one of these games where there's so much contact, and again, neither fan base is going to be at all happy with the officiating. I think they've done a decent job of at least being consistent on what they're seeing and what fouls they are calling.
Well, it's like in football, you can call a hold on every
Right.
play. You can literally call a foul each time down the floor on this one.
Absolutely. So when we return from the timeout, the Dragons will be at the free throw line. It'll be Steele Brasfield, who I believe is 3 of 3 from the line tonight. He is the leading scorer for the Dragons. And 3:41 left in the 3:41 left in the third quarter. Dragons came into the second half trailing by 2. Defense has been much better in this second half as well, as it has forced Southport not only into turnovers but into some bad shots, and they've been able to collect those bad shots, not allow any second chance opportunities. So 33-30, Brasfield will head to the free throw line. And a couple of guys late heading out. It'll be Matthew Brown, Ian Stevens, and Brasfield in the front court for the Dragons. Blaine Nunnally stays in, and Kyle Bastian in the game. Brasfield's first free throw is short. No good. But he will get one more chance to extend the lead to 4. And that one is up, no good as well. And Ian Stevens is going to get called for an over the back. Those are the fouls you really feel bad about, because he didn't even get the ball at the end of it. He had no chance of getting up and around Griffin Thomas for the rebound.
That's his third foul. That was a dumb foul. Because, like you said, he had no opportunity whatsoever to come up with that rebound.
McDonald with it, right wing. Fires over to Keon Miller. Miller looking to attack. Gets it to McDonald for 3. That is up, no good. Brasfield has it. He has it knocked out of his hands, and they're going to get a foul called as Ibrahim Kamara, who started for Southport but has not seen the court a whole lot until just now, he gets called for the foul. Blaine Nunnally will walk it across midcourt, looking for some instructions from the bench. Has what he likes. Matthew Brown over to Stevens. Now Nunnally, top of the key. They fire down to Steele Brasfield. He will turn around. Shot is up and
Nice.
good. And Brasfield falls backwards. No foul called, but he does get the layup. 35-30. 2:48 left in the third quarter. Now Miller, right wing. Working off a screen. Gets into the paint. Over to Thomas for 3. No. And Blaine Nunnally gets the long rebound. Nunnally looking to drive, left hand, gets to the baseline. Kicks back out to Ian Stevens for 3. That is up, no good. And Stevens saves it momentarily, but he threw it off the baseline. He did everything right, but he tried to, he actually would have been better off not firing it at the Southport player. He tried to fire it at a Cardinals player's feet, and instead he just threw it off the baseline. 35-30, now 2:23 left, and a couple of Cardinals check in. That is Nickens Lemba and Anthony Ball checking in.
You got the 2 6'6" guys in, but, you know, for me, both of them have 3 fouls. If I'm Trent Whitaker's team, I take it straight to them when we have the ball.
Miller with it, top of the key. Southport's looking for some points. They've been stuck on 30 for a while. Miller to Dankler. Dankler driving in on the baseline, no good. Brasfield collects the rebound, and Damon Hockett will advance for New Pal. He fires up to Blaine Nunnally. Nunnally will walk it across midcourt. Minute 52 left. And Ian Stevens with the ball. Now Nunnally. Nunnally looking for some help. He instead will back it out. And it'll be Pocket over. Nunnally with the ball. He fires back. A minute 24 left. As my mic cut out for a second. Sorry, folks.
You can see the length for Southport giving New Pal some problems here.
Yeah, they're very tentative on trying to figure out where they want to attack. I think you're right. I think they want to try to isolate one of those 6'6" players, but they're just not sure who or what to isolate them with. Nunnally being guarded by Miller as we tick under a minute. Gets into the free throw line. We're going to get a foul called.
That's on the floor.
That was on the floor, but who was that on? That was on Keon Miller. That'll be his fourth. So we talked about driving it at the big men for Southport. Instead, it is the guard, Keon Miller, that picks up his fourth foul.
Looks like called it on Camara. That's his third.
That's
going
his
to the bench.
So it was on the ground, but that is the seventh team foul on Southport. And so an important foul. Nunnally gets to go to the free throw line. Free throw is up and good. And New Pal's got to start converting here from the line. I saw at half they were 6 of 13. It has improved slightly, but not 100% improved just yet. Nunnally will eye his second free throw. He puts the shot up. It will dance around the rim and falls through. That's what you get when you're living right.
Nunnally a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line this quarter.
37-30. The Dragons lead back up to 7. Miller with it. He fires over to Vontae Robinson back in the game. Robinson now back to Miller. They get it into Ball. Ball looking to attack. Gets the shot up and gets it to fall. And he gets fouled. I've been really impressed with Anthony Ball so far tonight. I think the athleticism, and he simply has a little bit more of that touch around the rim that Nickens Limba has not quite mastered just yet.
Well, the scary thing is both of them, Ballin and Limba, are both sophomores.
Yeah.
6'6" sophomores. That's scary.
Yeah. So the free throw from Ball is up and good. And the lead for New Pal cut down to 4. So New Pal will advance. It'll be token full court pressure. Marcus Jones just into the game for Southport. Now it'll be full on full court pressure as Nunnally will try to advance against Jones. Works off the screen, gets into the lane, gets the shot up, no good. Rebound is taken down by Brasfield, but has the ball poked away. Dankler gets it for Southport. Now he will run. 27 seconds left, shot is up, no good, and it is Ibrahim Kamara that comes down with the rebound. He gets the putback, and the Cardinals within 2. 16 seconds left in the quarter. Now Eli Stevens with it at half court. Being harassed, he finally gets rid of it, and Brasfield will take it. 7 seconds to go. Looking to drive. He gets to the free throw line, gets the ball poked away, but recovers. Gets the shot up, no good, but he is fouled. So 7/10 of a second left on the clock, and Steele Brasfield will head to the free throw line, looking to extend this Dragons lead.
So Terrell Williams' fourth foul. I thought he did a good job on defense up until the time when Steele Brasfield drove to the lane there and kind of bailed him out a little bit.
Yeah. First free throw from Brasfield is good. And We will get a second one in the air. That is also good. Less than a second left. We'll see what Southport tries. They will take a dribble and not even try a full court shot. So we will head to the third quarter break. And in the solid third quarter for the Dragons as they now lead 39-35 heading to the fourth quarter. You're listening to Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com.
At Real Life Church, we've done everything we can to create a place people love so they can experience a loving God. That means we do everything with you in mind. Whether it's our weekend services, our kids and student ministry, or small groups, we really have been expecting you. We've been praying for you, and we're excited about the opportunity to go on a spiritual journey with you. We hope that you'll take your next step and join us this weekend at Real Life Church. There's always room for you.
Pork Vet Solutions is the best veterinary choice for your swine operation. Our two doctors, Matt Ackerman and Dylan Lape, can help you position your pork production system for the 21st century. We provide veterinary and consulting services, herd visits, preventive medicine, and more. Pork Vet Solutions is licensed and accredited in 8 states. Reach us online at porkvet.com or call 623-5132. That's porkvet.com or 623-5132. Pork Vet Solutions, literally saving your bacon.
And we are back at New Pal High School. The Dragons lead in this one, 39-35. We head to the fourth quarter. Mike Petrie, Paul Gable, so happy that you've decided to join us tonight as the Cardinals will have the first possession here of the fourth quarter. Keon Miller with it. He's on the left wing. Fires over to Dankler. Now into Anthony Ball. Now back to Dankler. Dankler looking to drive. Cut off at the baseline. Kicks back to Anthony Ball. 30 seconds gone by here in the last quarter. Miller will look to probe. Instead, he's cut off and backs it out. Dankler with the ball now. Right wing. Looking for a spot to go. Looking for it again. Gone 45 seconds. The shot is up and good. A nice patient offense by Southport cuts the Dragons' lead to 1. Blaine Nunnally will bring it across midcourt for New Pal. To Brown to Damon Hockett. Now Nunnally looking. He fakes a shot, but instead he will back it out. Fires over to Hockett. Hockett looking to get the ball down to Brasfield. Brasfield shot up, no good, but we're going to get a foul called. And that was a fortunate foul against Nickens Lemba. Again, I think that may have been some contact on Brasfield as he was going up, but by the time he got to the top of his jump, Lemba was essentially straight up and down. So Brasfield looking to extend the Dragons' lead. Gets shot up. That will rim out. And he will get a second shot. The foul on Lemba, that is his fourth. Something to keep an eye on. Certainly some foul trouble for a large number of Southport players. Second free throw from Brasfield, up and good. And it is 40-38. Southport will inbound. The Dragons let them inbound it, rolling it across midcourt. Now Keon Miller with the shot, no good. Rebound by Brasfield. Nice strong rebound amongst the trees there. He will bring it up himself. Goes across midcourt and hands to Damon Hockett, who swings the ball to Eli Stevens. Now back to Blaine Nunnally, top of the key. Nunnally with it. As the Dragons will work some clock, 6:15 left in this game. Blaine Nunnally will shoot from three, no, and miss badly. Ball lands in Anthony Ball's lap. Dankler over to Miller, 4-3. Shot is up and no good. Lemba gets the rebound. One dribble, kicks it back out. Miller travels with it before he dribbled, and that is a turnover that's just got to drive a coach crazy.
Yes, yes.
Because it wasn't even a travel after, getting caught, not sure what he was doing. He just took too many steps before he started to dribble. 5:51 left in the game. The Dragons lead this one 40-38. And Blaine Nunnally has it. Right wing now fires to Stevens. Stevens over to Hockett. Hockett looking for a place to drive. Instead kicks it to Brassfield, and we'll get a timeout by Trent Richardson. That'll be a full timeout. We will go ahead and take that with them. You are listening to Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com.
Catch the Shot Photography is your hometown photographer. Locally owned by Brenda Adams Turk and David Turk, Catch the Shot is dedicated to providing quality photos of your family, seniors, sports, and special events. We offer custom designed products including sponsor banners, photo collages, senior banners, and much more. We look forward to catching the shots with you. Contact Catch the Shot Photography at 317-620-1240 or catchtheshot.com. All-Star.
And we are back at New Pal High School. The Dragons lead this one 40-38. You're listening to Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com. And, of course, we are brought to you by All-Star Turf Management. So we appreciate their sponsorship of Dragon Basketball all season long. It's been a good one, Paul. Southport now will be trying to essentially make up the 2 points. They had a 2-point lead coming into the second half. Dragons have made that up, but have not been able to push the lead out very much since then. And New Pal will have the ball. Blaine Nunnally will dribble. He's guarded very closely by Keon Miller. Now fires over to Brassfield. Brassfield to Damon Hockett. Back to Brassfield. Hockett in the corner, drives, gets the ball into the paint. He will be fouled. And Damon Hockett will head to the free throw line. Damon Hockett came into the weekend 14 of 16. I believe he made 2 of 2 from the free throw line last night. So right at about 90%. He's probably getting fouled is probably the best thing that can happen to him on a drive to the basket.
That's his first point of the night.
41-38. Second free throw, no good. Announcer's curse for sure. And the Dragons lead by 3. 3-point shot from Southport is up and good. Another sky ball from Dante McDonald, and we are tied at 41. Some noise from the Southport side. Nunnally to Brown. Now Stevens underneath. Finds Nunnally. Top of the key, back to Hockett. Hockett looking to drive. And Hockett is going to be fouled. And that's going to be number 4 on Anthony Ball, I believe.
It is. And again, a bad foul if you're Southport. 30 feet away from the basket. Hockett's not going to hurt you from there.
Yeah, again, that foul is probably the best thing that's going to happen to Damon Hockett, because if he goes up for a shot, you're 6'6", and you have a 6'6" guy behind you.
Right.
That you're funneling him to. 42-41 as Hockett makes the first. Second one, no good. And 4:45 left. The Dragons lead just 1. Dankler with the ball, left-hand dribble. Fires over to Miller in the corner. Looking, and Miller's going to be fouled. That'll be foul number 4 on Blaine Nunnally, and bad fouls all around us.
That's one thing I don't understand. 30 feet away from the basket, nobody has really proven that they can knock that shot down routinely tonight. And to bail them out and allow Southport to have another possession here in a 1-point game, it could be dangerous.
Absolutely. Saving grace, Southport. That was only the 5th foul on New Pal. Dankler on the baseline. Fires back to Miller. Miller drives, finds McDonald. Now Ball in the paint. Kicks back out to Dankler. Dankler looks to drive, and he's going to get called for a travel. Yeah, that was the right call, as he did a jump step and then a Euro step and then maybe another jump step on top of that.
It's the NBA rules.
So Blaine Nunnally will walk it across midcourt for the Dragons. We tick under 4 minutes in the game. Dragons holding on to a tight 1-point lead as they are looking for a way to get the offense going. Nunnally drives, gets it into the paint. The shot is up. No good, but he is fouled. And that is the foul on Dante McDonald, who did the nice teammate thing because there were two 6'6" players with 4 fouls on him, and he raised his hand right away. So that one's on me. Blaine Nunnally's first free throw is through the net, and the Dragons' lead is back up to 2. And second free throw from Nunnally is a little short, and the Cardinals will have a chance to tie or take the lead again. 3:39 left in the game. A.J. Dankler with it. Left-hand dribble, top of the key. Swings over to Keon Miller. Miller guarded by Nunnally. He works off a screen. Now back to Dankler. Dankler. Jab step. Instead he pitches to McDonald. Now back to Dankler. Now Anthony Ball in the middle. Tries to fire it outside, and instead Steele Brasfield does a great job getting his hand in the passing lane. He picks off the pass, and the Dragons will advance. They have a 2-point lead and the ball. 3:05 left. Now Nunnally to Ian Stevens to Matthew Brown. Damon Hockett left wing to Nunnally. They're working to get the ball to Brasfield. Brasfield with the shot up, and that is no good, but he does get the foul called. And we'll see who that's on.
That's his 5th.
That is the 5th foul on Nickens Lemba. And I think a lot of that foul, again, that was one that was essentially set up, maybe not at the point of contact with the ball, but he had been fouling Brasfield the entire time.
Right.
And Brasfield couldn't quite get a good jump, partially because of that. So, 2:47 left. Steele Brasfield waiting for some, for the Southport substitution. And it will be Latrell Williams checking in for Southport. Steele Brasfield still waiting.
I'm not sure what the issue is.
And it'll be 2 shots for sure. They're at the double bonus anyway, so it would have been 2 shots anyway. Brasfield's first free throw is up and no good. Free throw troubles continue for the Dragons. Now Brasfield waits for the ball. He gets it from the official. Dragons lead 43-41. Now he rattles that one home. 44-41. Southport will roll the ball up the court. Damon Hockett at least pressures enough to get him to pick the ball up. Start the clock at 2:44. A shot by Latrell Williams, no good. A couple of putbacks, no good, and Brasfield will come down with the rebound. That was a nice effort by Ian Stevens and Brasfield, keeping it out of Anthony Ball's clean control. Now, Nunnally looking to drive. And he backs it out, 2:20 left. Now to Hockett, back to Nunnally. Nunnally gets it in the lane, has his shot blocked. And Nunnally got down the lane so far. I don't think he had any intention of shooting, but he was so close he couldn't believe his fortune. It just so happened that Anthony Ball was lurking around the corner.
All 6'6" of him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Snuck up on him.
44-41. Obviously, this is closer than I think the Dragons would like. Just more than anything due to some shortcomings at the free throw line, but they have been able to maintain a lead here in the second half, and a lot of that has to do with their defensive pressure. They've done a much better job in the second half at controlling defensively and getting defensive rebounds.
Well, and that right there, the free throws or lack of when it comes to knocking those down is one reason why Southport is still in this game. Another reason why Southport is still in this game is they've been able to knock down a couple of huge timely threes.
Yeah.
A.J. Dantzler with 1, Dante McDonald with 2 in this half. And, you know, free throws are free for a reason.
Yeah.
and you need to be able to capitalize. And this is something, obviously, it got them last night against Delta. This is starting to become a problem for New Pal a little bit. You got to be able to knock down your free throws and really put away some games. This game could have been put away if they would have knocked down some free throws.
Absolutely. Well, the Dragons do have a 3-point lead and the ball. Not only inbounds to Steele Brasfield, and Damon Hockett gets it into the paint. Now he kicks back out to Brown. Now Brasfield with it. He will threaten, but backs out now to Ian Stevens. Nunnally with it. Top of the key. Looks to drive. He will back it out. Minute 50 left. And might have gotten away with carry. Instead, he dribbles back, and we're going to get a foul called, and that'll be a moving screen, I believe, on
Hockett.
On Hockett. Was trying to set up Steele Brasfield, and instead gets called for the moving screen turnover on the Dragons. If nothing else, that possession burned a minute off the clock. Eliminates some of the margin of error. Now a three-point shot for Dankler, no good. Matthew Brown with the rebound, and more importantly, he gets Anthony Ball to jump over his back. That'll be foul number 5 on Anthony Ball. That is a big foul. And that, again, another one that'll drive the coach crazy, because he can't complain that it's not like that foul came out of nowhere. They've been tight on rebounds, and it's been fair both ways. And that was one ball clearly over the back and making contact with Matthew Brown. Brown from the free throw line. First free throw is up and good. So that was an important one. It goes from a one-possession game to a two-possession game. 45-41. The Dragons with the lead, a minute 30 left. Second free throw up, no good. Latrell Williams will get the rebound for Southport. Cardinals on the move. Keon Miller to the free throw line. Back to Dankler. Dankler to Miller. Deep three, that is up, no good. Fight for the rebound, and it will go off of Damon Hockett's face, unfortunately, as the pinball did not. He shook his head out like, okay, well. Minute 15 left, and Southport will inbound under the Dragons basket.
And if you're Southport, that's where you miss ball and limbo right there.
Absolutely. Dantzler with it. He gets to the free throw line.
He's
going to get a foul called, and that'll go against Nunnally. And Nunnally earned that one.
That's Nunnally's fifth.
Yeah, that'll be the fifth on Blaine Nunnally. He pounds the floor in frustration at the end. He offers some instructions to his teammates before heading to the bench. And Eli Stevens will check in for Blaine Nunnally. Minute 8 left in this game. That is a presence that will be felt by the Dragons, missing their point guard and leader. 45-41. Free throw from Dantzler is up and good. And the lead is cut to 3. Couple of substitutions coming in for Southport, as well as Avante Robinson checks in. And it looks like Marcus Jones checks in. Some offense for defense substitutions. Keon Miller heads to the bench. They are protecting him with 4 fouls. Ian Stevens picks the rebound up as the free throw misses off the left-hand side. And Steele Brasfield will take it for the Dragons. A minute left. And we're going to get a timeout called by Trent Whitaker. That is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 58.6 seconds left. At this point, there's going to be the balance. Of course, you have to balance between being aggressive, taking an opportunity if it's there, but you need to work some clock now if you are New Pal. And if you're Southport, you got to wonder how long they're going to let New Pal just run an offense.
Right. You know, on one hand, Nunnally out of the game after fouling out with 14 points. And I think Coach Whitaker called that timeout more than anything to settle his guys down. You know, you got the lead. Southport still has to come after you a little bit. And like you said, work some clock. Southport has 10 fouls. Send them to the free throw line a little bit. Let's see if New Pal can knock down some free throws down the stretch here in this one.
Steele Brasfield takes the inbounds pass. He will walk it back up across midcourt. Now he will drive. He is looking for some help, finds Damon Hockett, back to Eli Stevens, to Ian Stevens in the corner. Now Brasfield with it, left wing. Looking, he's going to be fouled, and that's a foul that, honestly I don't get, because if you're going to do that, you might as well do it 50 seconds.
Well, they tried. They just never got the call.
And then they do get a foul called here, 37.4 seconds left. Dragons with a 3-point lead at 45-42. Steele Brasfield heads to the line. Free throw is up and no good off the back of the rim.
But, New Pal, no points there, got to the free throw line. But more importantly than anything, managed to work 21 seconds off the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Brasfield with a second free throw, if they can make this. Be a big one from the, would make it 2 possession, but it falls short. Dantzler to Keon Miller. He is looking, goes to the top of the key. Fire, he will dribble it back. Now gets to the free throw line, and we're going to get a timeout called by Coach Eric Blair from Southport. And a good timeout there. They were not real sure. Once Miller got it to the free throw line, I think he was thinking, well, I can attack, but they don't need to go for a 3 now. We're at 24 seconds left. That may have burned up the opportunity where they don't really have to go for 3.
Well, it seemed like they didn't know what they wanted to do there,
right,
or how much time they had. They kind of hurried themselves up a little bit, and then, like you said, got to the free throw line, very indecisive, not quite sure how much time they had left, and then the offense just kind of went by the wayside there for Southport. And Eric Brand, the coach of Southport, he's got some wins under his belt, and he knows when the right time to call a timeout to kind of settle his guys down. If you're Trent Whitaker, though, for New Pal, I would imagine the message is very, very clear. Don't foul and guard the perimeter. Do not give up a 3-point shot, because Southport has shown that they can knock those down a little bit here, especially in the second half.
Yeah, they have shot the ball much better and have hit some timely threes, as you had mentioned. So Miller will inbound from under the Dragons basket, just to Dantzler, now back to Miller. Brasfield will guard Miller. Now, Camera over to Miller, top of the key, looking for a screen. Now he's Matthew Brown on him.
10 seconds.
And 8 seconds left now. Now they've got to decide. He looks, and we're going to get a timeout called again by Eric Brand. Good timeout. Nice defense by the Dragons. Particularly impressed there by Matthew Brown, who got switched on to Keon Miller, which you've got to figure that's the matchup Southport wanted, but Miller wasn't able to do anything with it.
Yeah, and Matthew Brown does, and I remember a game last season or the season before you and I did, and Matthew Brown does all the things that don't get noticed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Strong defense, heck of a rebounder, and isn't afraid to go after the opposition's best player when the game's on the line. And all those are huge traits and huge reasons why he's going to the Air Force Academy to play football. But over the years, you can always look to Matthew Brown to do all the little things that don't get noticed in the box score, but help your team pick up wins.
Yeah, absolutely. And among them, that was a big one as he went, you get a switch onto the court, and we're going to get a timeout now by Trent Whitaker, as we had this a little bit, last night's game where coming into the last possession, the Dragons had a chance to go the length of the court. They came out, Whitaker called timeout. They set up a play, and as soon as they showed their hand a little bit, Delta's coach called timeout on the other end, and that negated a little bit of what New Pal was able to do. So I think Whitaker trying to do a little bit of the same thing here. Let Southport get lined up, call a timeout, and see if you're able to force them to run their second best play.
Well, you learn from your losses, and on that one, right before he called that timeout, Trenton didn't send his guys out to get into their defense.
Right. And the inbound pass goes to Miller. He will fire a long three. No good. Matthew Brown comes down with the rebound and a Dragons victory as New Pal wins this one 45-42. It was a tight game, probably, like we said, tighter than they wanted, but in the end, a win is a win is a win. We will tell you all about how it happened as we will have the post-game show brought to you by Best in Sight Eye Care and D&D Strictly Storage. You're listening to Dragons Basketball on newpalradio.com.
Our turf management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management. With a former Dragon star in Bloomington, all eyes should be on the Hoosiers football program this year. HoosierHuddle.com is a free and independent site that has covered the football team since 2013. They provide roster analysis, player profiles, interviews, game previews, wrap-ups, and more. You can follow them on Twitter at Hoosier_Huddle or visit HoosierHuddle.com to keep up with your in-state favorites. D&D Strictly Storage in New Palestine is your home for storage needs. D&D Strictly Storage offers a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
And welcome back, everybody, to a happy New Pal High School gym as the New Pal Dragons defeat the Southport Cardinals tonight by a score of 45-42. Paul, why don't you go ahead and tell us the individual scorers from tonight?
Yeah, for the visiting Southport Cardinals, they finished tonight with 27 rebounds, 15 turnovers, led offensively by A.J. Dantzler with 13. Anthony Ball had 11 before fouling out tonight. Keon Miller with 7 points. Dante McDonald with a pair of threes for 6 points on the night. Ibrahim Camaro with 2 and Nickens Limbo with 2. And Avante Robinson rounding out the scoring for Southport with 1 point. Southport 7 of 12 from the free throw line tonight. For the home team, the New Palestine Dragons, 25 rebounds, 10 turnovers, led offensively by Steele Brasfield with 15 points. Blake Nunnally had 14 before fouling out. Matthew Brown with 7 points tonight. Ian Stevens with 3 points. Damon Hockett with 2. C.J. Oliver with 1. Eli Stevens with 1. 20 of 38 from the free throw line tonight for the Dragons. It was 18-8 New Pal after 1. 25-23 at the half in favor of Southport. 39-35 New Pal after 3, and 45-42 your final tonight.
Well, and you know, it's not a flawless victory by any stretch. There will be things that Trent Whitaker will want to improve upon for this club, and free throw shooting is the one that jumps out probably like the sorest of thumbs. But as much as anything, it's they were able to face that adversity. They had a big lead. Southport was able to cut into that big lead, and from the moment Southport went up by 2 into the halftime break, really the second half response by New Pal, they've got to be pleased with that. Coach Trent Whitaker will be coming and joining us here, and we will have a chance to talk to him about that.
You guys still rolling?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
And as we welcome in Coach Trent Whitaker, and Coach, happy to have you on a victorious
Yes.
post-game show. Obviously, there were a lot of things that you're going to see that you'll want to clean up, but at the end, you've got to be happy with how the team responded and was able to come out with a victory.
Yeah, it was a good bounce back win. I mean, for last night, traveling up there and getting back at about 11:30, and having a little shoot around, and they battled. That's the one thing we talked last night about the kids do. They don't give up. They battle to the very end. Now, obviously, cleaning up some things. I think number one's free throws. I'm not sure if 20 for 38 is the number I heard. Not a mathematician, but that's just barely over 50. So not good. But that's something the kids, they've already talked about it in the locker room. They know. They talked Monday, hey, when we shoot free throws, you've got to concentrate, you got to focus. And as coaches, we say that every single day, but now they kind of felt that one. So luckily, though, they learned with a win.
Yeah, it's always better to learn that way, even after a win. I think this is the third time we've seen you on a back-to-back games where not only was it a back-to-back that tested your legs, but the second half of that back-to-back was at a much faster pace. And how much of a challenge was that for everybody to, again, it was an emotionally draining game last night. They come back, and you're playing a team that races up and down the court.
That's one thing we learned very quickly. They just their length and speed. Is something we don't see in the HHC every week in, week out. And so that was definitely a test. And we don't play much 2-3 zone either. And so that's probably the first time you've seen that this year. And played a little 13 as well. But that gives us something we can fall back on if we need to. I thought we did a nice job of rebounding out of it at times when Matthew was in the game. I thought he did an incredible job. I think we had him for 11 rebounds. So he's just a kid that. Unfortunately, sometimes you get some fouls called on him that I don't think are warranted, but he did. The offensive foul after defensive rebound, not sure what happened, but they called it. We live with it and move on. But overall, I'm just happy with how the kids bounced back, and they didn't let that last night loss linger.
Well, and Coach, I've never met a coach who feels like fouls called against his guys are warranted. But
Exactly. Yes.
But Matthew Brown, and we talked about it on the broadcast, and for Matthew Brown, I think this is the third year where we have said he does all the things that don't get noticed in a box score, and he does all the little things that at the end of the day add up and help a team get wins. One, talk a little bit about him, and secondly, I feel like this game doesn't necessarily help you guys in the HAC as much as it helps you come March when you play the Richmonds and you play the Muncies and you play the teams that want to get up and down the floor and have some length against you guys.
Yeah, man, I'll start with talk about Matthew. He's a program kid. He came through, and played JV for 2 years, played varsity last year, and he's difficult at times to take off the floor. There's some matchups that we struggle getting minutes, but when he's in there, he puts up the numbers. He contributes every single way he can, and the kid doesn't care if he scores.
Right.
He loves to score, but at the same time, he wants to win. That's the most important thing. That's what our kids are getting to that point where wins matter to them. Last night there were some frustrated young fellows in our locker room, which you want to keep their heads up a little bit, but also you want to kind of feel that what a loss feels like. Let's not feel that again. So, but Matthew's, like I said, just our little slogan is gritty, not pretty, and that's him. I mean, we could put a poster child up there. That's Matthew. But yeah, you're right about March playing. Anderson, Muncie, Richmond, Mount Vernon's going to get up and down a little bit as well, and those teams are going to challenge us, and that definitely got us ready. And so we talk a lot about back-to-back. Get you ready for March. You're going to play on a Tuesday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday. So. We hope we just get to that Saturday and see what happens.
I thought one thing that you guys did a good job of especially in that first quarter, that ultimately carried over to you guys getting the win, was you were able to take them out of their game a little bit. But in the second quarter, they did a good job of speeding you guys up. And to your guys' credit, you were able to get back to playing New Pal basketball the way it's supposed to be played.
Right. They probably hadn't seen us play 2-3 all year.
Right.
They watched any film. That was kind of new to them. So they made some adjustments, and they had some kids that shoot basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So we, at that point in time, we had to make sure that we got up to those shooters. We got some length on our wings. Little Ian Stevens, I thought, did a great job with sophomore coming in, and his length on the wing was definitely helpful there. But yeah, so the biggest thing is just we talk about our pace. We got to play our pace, and sometimes we can play at a fast pace. Blaine likes to get up and down a little bit, but there's times we got to slow him down a little bit. So, but overall, happy with the weekend. Obviously, you want to get Delta the conference game, but this definitely we took a step forward tonight. So get ready for penalty nights.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we really appreciate you taking the time, and congratulations
You bet.
on the
Thank you very much. Thanks, fellas.
Thank you, Coach. Well, you know, one thing that you heard from him, and I had some questions coming into this game about how they would respond. The road trip up to Delta, that's never fun. I don't care who you are in the conference. It's always a long trip going up to Delta and getting back late and then trying to make some adjustments in the shoot-around. But, you know, and Coach touched on it. A lot of frustration in that locker room, it sounds like, after that game, and they came out tonight focused on doing whatever it took to get the win, and they did that. Monday's practice is going to be a very, very interesting one. I would imagine that the vast majority of time will be spent on free throws, especially with Pendleton Heights coming up.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to take one more quick break. We will run through some other scores from around the conference and get you ready for a quick preview of what we will see coming up next week. You are listening to Dragon Basketball on newpalradio.com.
There's a wide variety of storage sizes from 5 by 10 feet up to 10 by 30 feet. They also offer indoor and outdoor parking for your boats and RVs. Locally owned and operated by Don and Maria Blackwell, D&D Strictly Storage is who to call for your storage solution. They're located on County Road 400 West, just north of the railroad tracks in New Palestine. Call them at 861-9231. Again, that's 861-9231 for D&D Strictly Storage. Mention this ad and get your second month free with any rental.
Best in Sight Eye Care has been the leader of quality vision and eyewear in New Palestine for more than 20 years. Our experienced doctors, Tim Huffman, Mark Habig, and Colin Clairbout, use the most advanced state-of-the-art technology and eye care products available. At Best in Sight Eye Care, you will find professionals who are dedicated to providing exceptional personal service to everyone who walks through the door. We are conveniently located on Arbor Lane in New Palestine. Just follow US 52 west of Mount Comfort Road. To schedule your appointment, visit bestinsighteyecare.com or call 861-4100. Give your vision the level of care it deserves. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase.
All-Star Turf Management is the best choice for the lawn you really want. Our superior lawn care services, including fertilizer, weed control, aerations, mowing, and more, are designed to improve and maintain your property season after season. Our combination of using the highest quality chemical products applied by educated, licensed professionals is what your property needs to become a place we both will be proud of. With flexible scheduling and service programs, we have a package that's right for your lawn and your budget. Locally owned and operated by Nathan Johnson, All-Star Turf Management is proud to support the New Palestine community and Dragon Athletics. To learn more or for a free estimate, call All-Star Turf Management at 861-1234 or visit myallstarlawn.com. That's 861-1234 or myallstarlawn.com for All-Star Turf Management.
And welcome back one last time to a very happy and very empty New Pal High School gym, as the Dragons tonight are victorious. They defeat the Southport Cardinals by a score of 45-42, and despite the low score, it was an up and down fast-paced game that really challenged the Dragons in a number of ways. I think they as we heard from Coach Whitaker, very impressed and very happy with what he saw from his team tonight. Some scores I was just updating around the HHC. Mount Vernon continues their impressive season. They move to 6-2 as they defeat Whiteland 85-81 in overtime. And Pendleton Heights, right now playing in the Madison County tournament, they are leading in that one, 43-38 over Anderson. Pendleton Heights will be the Dragons' next opponent, as New Pal will head. It'll be 2 road trips, and 2 road trips about as far apart on their schedule as they can get. Back-to-back nights. They go to Pendleton Heights on Friday, and we'll go to Mooresville on Saturday night. And, you know, those are 2 teams that can present some challenges. You know, Pendleton Heights, it almost doesn't matter who's playing for them, who's coaching. That is a program. They're going to be able to shoot the ball, and they're going to make it pretty tough on you from a defensive assignment. So that will be an interesting matchup for the Dragons. Pendleton Heights came into the weekend and was looking at essentially where they were from a one-loss record. They had a ton of games that were postponed. They have finally caught up to most of their schedule. They came into the weekend 2-4, so they have a chance to get themselves back closer to 500 tonight if they can beat Anderson. Paul, I guess we'll let this go with our final thoughts from tonight. That was a probably winning ugly, but winning ugly beats losing pretty most days.
Well, yeah, definitely. And more importantly than anything, it shows those kids in that locker room you can bounce back from a tough loss, and you can play with, and you can beat a team that is more athletic than you, has more length than you, and wants to run you up and down the court. And those are things, and Coach Whitaker touched on it when he joined us in the postgame. Those are things that are going to help this New Pal team come March. When you got to go up against the Andersons, you got to go up against the Muncies, you got to go up against the Richmonds, you got to go up against the Mount Vernons, and you got to do it in almost back-to-back nights as well. And you mentioned the trip, Pendleton Heights on a Friday. That'll be a boy-girl doubleheader. It looks like right now, maybe.
No, they've canceled that part. They moved the girls to Thursday night, but. Anyway,
Anyway, it's still a game on a Friday night, I suppose. And then the next night, you're at Mooresville, a place that you and I have been to in the past and have seen the Pioneers in previous seasons. That's always a nice time over there at Mooresville. And again, it's going to be another opportunity to gain some experience, to go back-to-back nights, and to build towards March.
Have not seen Mooresville's roster, but from what I remember last year, they had about 3 guys that were 6'5" sophomores last year that all could, again, much like what we saw tonight, guys that could just jump out of the gym.
I remember one play in particular on an inbound where they lobbed it up, and the guy slammed it home, and I don't think he's come down yet. They had some guys who could jump out of the gym a little bit, if I remember.
And could complete the slam dunk.
Yes.
As it is, that is the story for next week. For the story for tonight is a victory, and that will send the Dragons home happy, and we will take that for the time being. So, for the last time tonight, for Paul Gable, this has been Mike Petrie. The Dragons win tonight. We appreciate you listening. Have a great evening, and we will be back with you next Friday.